Have you ever found yourself sitting in your favorite chair, maybe with a cup of tea in hand, and suddenly wondered, do I really need to keep up with so many friends at this stage of my life? It's a question that might feel a little uncomfortable to ask, but it's one that many of us over 70 have thought about at some point. And you know what? That's perfectly okay. In fact, it might even be a sign that you're ready to embrace a new chapter of independence and happiness. Today, we're going to talk about something that might feel a little counterintuitive at first. Why you don't need friends after 70. Now, before you raise an eyebrow, let me clarify, this isn't about pushing people away or isolating yourself. It's about understanding that your happiness and fulfillment don't have to depend on having a large circle of friends. Instead, it's about embracing the freedom and peace that come with independence. In this video, we'll explore 6 reasons why letting go of the pressure to maintain friendships can actually help you live a happier, more fulfilling life. We'll start with the first 2 reasons, and I think you'll find them both relatable and liberating. Let's begin with the first reason. You've earned the right to choose how you spend your time. Think about it. How many years have you spent saying yes to things because you felt like you had to? Whether it was attending social events, hosting gatherings, or simply keeping up with friends out of obligation, those years were filled with responsibilities. But now, you've reached a stage in life where your time is truly your own. You don't have to answer to anyone else's expectations. This doesn't mean you should cut off everyone in your life, of course, but it does mean you can be more selective about how you spend your time. Maybe you'd rather spend a quiet afternoon reading a book, tending to your garden, or simply enjoying the peace and quiet of your own company. And that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's a sign that you're prioritizing your own well-being. Let me share a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call her Margaret, spent years feeling guilty about not keeping up with her large group of friends. She'd force herself to attend weekly lunches and social events, even when she didn't feel like it. One day, she decided to take a step back and focus on the things she truly enjoyed: painting, walking in nature, and spending time with her grandchildren. And you know what? She told me she's never been happier. She realized that her happiness didn't depend on having a packed social calendar. It came from doing the things she loved, on her own terms. Now, let's move on to the second reason. Independence allows you to rediscover yourself. When we're younger, so much of our identity is tied to our relationships, whether it's being a parent, a spouse, or a friend. But as we get older, those roles often change. Kids grow up and move out, friendships evolve, and we're left with more time to focus on ourselves. And that's a beautiful thing. This is your chance to rediscover who you are outside of those roles. What are the things that make you feel alive? Maybe it's a hobby you've always wanted to try, like painting or playing an instrument. Maybe it's traveling to places you've always dreamed of visiting. Or maybe it's simply enjoying the quiet moments of reflection that come with solitude. When you're not constantly trying to keep up with social obligations, you have the freedom to explore these things. And in doing so, you might just find that you're happier and more fulfilled than ever before. Take my neighbor, Tom, for example. After his wife passed away, he felt a lot of pressure to stay socially active. But over time, he realized that he actually enjoyed spending time alone. He started writing poetry, something he'd always been curious about, but never had the time for. Now, he says it's one of the most rewarding parts of his life. He's not lonely, he's thriving, because he's finally doing something that's just for him. So, to recap, we've talked about 2 reasons why embracing independence after 70 can lead to a happier life. First, you've earned the right to choose how you spend your time. And second, independence allows you to rediscover yourself. Both of these points are about giving yourself permission to focus on what truly matters to you. Now that we've covered these ideas, let's move on to the next reasons, which will dive even deeper into the benefits of living a more independent life. You might be surprised at how freeing it can feel to let go of the pressure to maintain friendships and instead focus on what brings you joy. But before we get into that, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever felt the pressure to keep up with social obligations, even when you didn't feel like it? Or have you discovered the joy of spending time on your own? Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're finding this conversation helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Because here's the thing, life after 70 isn't about slowing down. It's about living on your own terms. And I'm here to help you do just that. Now that we've talked about how choosing how you spend your time and rediscovering yourself can lead to greater happiness after 70, let's dive into the next 2 reasons why embracing independence can be so rewarding. These ideas might challenge some of the assumptions we've been carrying around for years, but I think you'll find them both refreshing and empowering. The third reason is this: You can focus on quality over quantity in relationships. Let's be honest, maintaining a large circle of friends can be exhausting, especially as we get older. It's not just about the time and energy it takes to stay connected. It's also about the emotional toll of navigating different personalities, expectations, and sometimes even drama. But here's the thing. You don't need a lot of friends to feel fulfilled. What you need are a few meaningful connections with people who truly understand and appreciate you. Think about the people in your life who bring you joy, who make you feel seen and valued. Maybe it's a childhood friend who knows your history inside and out. Maybe it's a family member who always knows how to make you laugh. Or maybe it's someone you've met more recently who shares your interests and values. These are the relationships worth investing in. When you let go of the pressure to maintain a large social circle, you free up space to nurture these deeper connections. And the beauty of it is that these relationships often feel more authentic and rewarding. You're not spending time with people out of obligation. You're spending time with them because you genuinely enjoy their company. I'll give you an example. A viewer named Linda once shared her story with me. She used to feel like she had to attend every social event in her community, even though she often came home feeling drained. Over time, she realized that she only truly enjoyed spending time with 2 or 3 people. So, she made a conscious decision to focus on those relationships. She told me that her life feels richer now because she spent her time with people who truly matter to her. And that brings us to the 4th reason. Independence can reduce stress and increase peace of mind. Let's face it, relationships, even the good ones, can be complicated. There are misunderstandings, differing expectations, and sometimes even conflicts. And while these challenges are a natural part of life, they can also be a source of stress, especially as we get older and our energy levels change. When you embrace independence, you give yourself permission to step back from situations that drain you. You don't have to feel guilty about saying no to social events that don't interest you. You don't have to worry about keeping up with the latest gossip or drama. Instead, you can focus on creating a life that feels calm and peaceful. Think about what that might look like for you. Maybe it's spending your morning sipping coffee while watching the sunrise. Maybe it's taking long walks in nature, where you can clear your mind and recharge. Or maybe it's simply enjoying the quiet moments at home, where you can reflect on your life and appreciate all that you've accomplished. A friend of mine, let's call him George, told me that he used to feel obligated to attend weekly card games with a group of friends. But over time, he realized that he didn't actually enjoy the games. He was just going because he didn't want to let anyone down. When he finally decided to stop attending, he was surprised by how much lighter he felt. He started spending those evenings reading instead, and he told me it's become one of his favorite parts of the week. So, to recap, we've covered 2 more reasons why embracing independence after 70 can lead to a happier life. First, you can focus on quality over quantity in your relationships. And second, independence can reduce stress and increase peace of mind. Both of these points are about creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling to you. Now that we've explored these ideas, let's move on to the final reasons, which will tie everything together and show you how living independently can truly enhance your happiness and well-being. Trust me, by the end of this conversation, you'll see that letting go of the pressure to maintain friendships isn't about losing something. It's about gaining the freedom to live life on your own terms. But before we get into that, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever felt the relief of stepping back from social obligations? Or have you found that focusing on a few meaningful relationships has made your life richer? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I always love hearing your stories. We've come a long way in this conversation, haven't we? We've talked about how choosing how you spend your time, rediscovering yourself, focusing on quality relationships, and reducing stress can all contribute to a happier, more fulfilling life after 70. Now, let's dive into the final 2 reasons why embracing independence can be so transformative. These ideas will tie everything together and show you just how powerful it can be to live life on your own terms. The 5th reason is this. Independence allows you to prioritize your own needs and desires. For so much of our lives, we're taught to put others first, our families, our friends, our communities. And while there's certainly value in caring for others, it's equally important to care for ourselves. After 70, you've earned the right to make yourself a priority. What does that look like in practice? It could mean saying no to social invitations when you'd rather stay home and relax. It could mean spending your time and resources on hobbies or experiences that bring you joy. Or it could mean simply giving yourself permission to rest when you need it without feeling guilty. When you embrace independence, you're giving yourself the gift of self-care. You're acknowledging that your needs and desires matter, and that it's okay to put yourself first sometimes. And the beautiful thing is, when you take care of yourself, you're better able to show up for the people and activities that truly matter to you. Let me share a story from a viewer named Carol. She spent years putting everyone else's needs before her own, helping with her grandchildren, volunteering at her church, and always being the one her friends turned to for support. But over time, she realized she was feeling drained and resentful. She decided to start setting boundaries and prioritizing her own needs. She started taking yoga classes, joined a book club, and even took a solo trip to a place she'd always wanted to visit. She told me that for the first time in years, she feels like she's truly living for herself, and it's made all the difference. Now, let's move on to the sixth and final reason. Independence can help you embrace the present moment. One of the greatest gifts of getting older is the wisdom that comes with it. You've lived through so much: joys, challenges, triumphs, and losses. And all of those experiences have taught you the importance of living in the present. When you're not constantly trying to keep up with social obligations or maintain a large circle of friends, you have more space to simply be. You can savor the small moments, the warmth of the sun on your face, the sound of birds chirping in the morning, the taste of your favorite meal. These moments might seem simple, but they're where true happiness lies. Embracing independence allows you to slow down and appreciate the beauty of the present. It's about finding contentment in the here and now, rather than worrying about what you should be doing or who you should be spending time with. Take my friend, let's call him Henry, for example. He used to feel like he had to fill every moment of his day with activities and social engagements. But after a health scare, he realized how much he'd been missing by always being on the go. He started spending more time at home, enjoying quiet mornings with his dog, and taking long walks in the park. He told me that he's never felt more at peace, because he's finally learning to appreciate the present moment. So, to recap, we've covered 2 more reasons why embracing independence after 70 can lead to a happier life. First, independence allows you to prioritize your own needs and desires. And second, it helps you embrace the present moment. Both of these points are about creating a life that feels authentic, peaceful, and fulfilling. Now that we explored all 6 reasons, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Embracing independence after 70 isn't about isolating yourself or cutting people out of your life. It's about giving yourself permission to live in a way that feels right for you. It's about focusing on the things that bring you joy, nurturing the relationships that truly matter, and finding peace in the present moment. Remember, this is your life, and you get to decide how you want to live it. Whether that means spending more time alone, focusing on a few meaningful relationships, or simply enjoying the quiet moments, it's all about what makes you happy. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Have you started embracing independence in your own life? What changes have you made, and how have they impacted your happiness? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I always love hearing your stories.